live interaction with our stakeholders from across the world, across India. We are inviting our Dean School of Management, who's Dr. Balaji Utla, to speak with our students, to talk about Anurag University, to talk about what makes Anurag University unique, what ticks the entire um, leadership, entire faculty, entire deans, uh, the entirety of Anurag University, what makes us stick, and how do our students get the best out of the both worlds, that is being in a very diverse and multidisciplinary world, at the same time make being it accessible. So again, with I think we have already a little later than what we planned. So we'll just jump right into it. And let me introduce Dr. Balaji Utla. So, Dr. Balaji has done his PhD, has done his um, in marketing from the famed Usmania University, and that was about 30 years ago. And he's one of the only academics who has transitioned from academia after his PhD. One of the few academics who has transitioned from academia to corporate sector. He was one of the very first employees in Satyam Computers. He ran their learning university. He ran their internal knowledge hub. The entirety of their training and professional development was run by Dr. Balaji until for almost a decade. After the decade, he moved to much higher impact roles, in which he also was one of the co-creators of 108 and 106. Um, what the 108 that we do see here today, it was actually a brainchild of Satyam Foundations, which was again was run at that time by Dr. Balaji. Then he is also a very seasoned, not only a seasoned administrator, he was also an entrepreneur himself, and has been a friend of Anurag University for almost 2 decades since its inception, and has been advising us. And when we have become a university from a private university in 2020, the leadership of Anurag University and management of Anurag University has requested sir to take a much bigger role in our day-to-day functioning, and he has accepted to run Dean School of Management as Dean School of Management. Under his tenure, again, the School of Management has seen newer heights, much higher impact. With his guidance, we were able to bring in uh, a lot of CXOs level professors of CXO level faculty. Again, I would let Dr. Balaji explain a little more about all of that. Again, thank. I would like to thank each and every student, prospective student, faculty who has taken time of their one on only Sunday. I shouldn't say one on only Sunday. We got couple of holidays this week, but I would like to show our gratitude for taking the time off to join this webinar series. And without much further ado, let me transfer it to Dr. Balaji. Sir, it's your seat.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Anurag?
Yes, sir. I can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction, and good morning to all my participants. It's my pleasure. It's early morning in United States. I'm talking from US right now. It's about 1:45 or so in the night or early morning, whatever you say. So it's my pleasure to share with you a few thoughts. I think the structure would be something like this. I'll try to keep the presentation to the minimal for you to get a sense about Anurag University. One of the key things while Mr. Palla did introduce me and told me that I'm a friend of the university, I need to tell you as to one of the reasons as to why I associated myself with Anurag University. I know the founder, Dr. Ayeshwar Reddy Palla, for almost 4 decades, 3.5 decades now. When he started his education institution, I, uh, I kind of congratulated him, and I believe that India needs high quality educational institutions run by people who love academics, who who believe that India needs to create necessary human resources, and Dr. Aishwar Reddy is one of those few. Um he's not like business people starting educational institutions. So that's one of the reasons why I associated myself. I've seen this institution grow, and the commitment and passion with which he built a team. It's always a fascinating thing. And especially, I'm a Hyderabadi, and um, I'm selfish, so I would like some of the best institutions be available for people in and around Hyderabad, and let Hyderabad become a above great institution. So among the private universities, if you look at Anurag, obviously, in my view, is it's a happening university. That's one of the reasons why I lent my name and I spend my time, and I associate myself. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. So it's my honor and privilege to share a few slides with you. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Um, at Anurag University, one of the key things that we believe that in this new VUCA world, when we say VUCA, it's volatile, uncertain, complex, you know, um, you know the world that we're living in right now, which seemed to change dramatically. Earlier, change was happening every 100 years, then later, maybe half a decade, half a century. Then it's about every 5, 10 years you see dramatic changes. Now, none of us thought 4 years ago that AI would be doing so many things for us, which today Gen Z grows with AI, what we call, uh, you know, uh, digital native citizens, the new generation that is there, and many of you who are aspiring to become leaders, become entrepreneurs, would look forward to that. And then you can see the change that has happened. Nobody thought 4 years ago that AI could write code, AI could do this, AI could do that. The word AI itself, probably very few people used to talk about it. So that is the world that we live in, VUCA world. So what is it in the VUCA world that will help one survive, help one thrive, help one achieve one's dream? So therefore, we believe skills make the whole difference. That's how the first slide talks about outcomes. At Anurag, we believe in outcomes. Otherwise, people can talk about their processes and all of that. All processes need to lead to an outcome. And then, what does the world pay you for? The world pays you for your skills. Um, so we have one motto inside. I'm sure some of you would have read this book as well. If you haven't, my suggestion is you can go through that. So good that they can't ignore you. So we believe that if you're so good at something, nobody will ignore you. Whatever job you're at, whatever skill you have, you could be a pilot, driving a plane, you could be a doctor, you could be a surgeon, you could be a manager, you could be a pharmacist, you could be an engineer, you could be a whatever. If you're so good, the world can't ignore you. So our objective as a university is that we help you become good at what you love to. So that's what Anurag University philosophy, core philosophy is. Let me just give you a sense of um, a quick snapshot. You can actually go through it. I'm not going to spend time on that. We believe in infrastructure. We have 150 acres of land that we have, and since I'm in US, we talk about millions. So it's about 3 million built-up area, or 30 lakh square feet of built-up area. We are an ever-growing student body of 15,000 plus students that we have, close to 800 faculty as we are talking. That's the reason why we put a plus. I'm sure we will be recruiting some more people. We'll hit 1,000 faculty in a short while. We have a big alum network, and so on and so forth. You can look into that. I don't have to go into a large number of them. You might be interested in a couple of them, probably, in terms of jobs. That's there to the right side. And like I mentioned earlier, if you are good at something, the world cannot ignore you. Some of us students were so good that the industry felt that they can pay them about 5 million rupees or 52 lakhs per annum, that you can see in the number of offers that we have, and so on and so forth. So I will not, I'm sure these numbers keep changing and they'll only become better as we go by. And some of you might be wanting to know what's our ranking, how are we doing, and these ranking also keep changing. A little while ago, we were into 150, 200 band, and from there we came to 101 to 150 band. In a few years, we'll become 75, 50, and top 50 and all of that. You can look into rankings. Rankings is an outcome of the work that our students and faculty do as a community, and this keeps moving better and better. So this is only temporary as of now. Today, if you look at the picture, these are our ranks, and we will keep doing much better. Yeah, let me just since I started my talk saying that the world respects skills, and skills do come. How do you build skill? You can look at if you want to cook a new dish, you can go to YouTube and see something. It all looks very easy. But when you actually try to cook, you'll find it's not easy to do that. You'll make mistakes, you'll forget something will burn, something will happen, anything for that matter. So, skill, we say, needs drill. You need to practice. Recently, I was listening to some of the army people who are analyzing the conflict that's happening around. And they say it takes about 6 months to 12 months, even for an experienced pilot, to learn a new plane. If somebody was flying, let's say F-16, if they have to fly F-20 or F-35 or whatever, it requires at least 20 times that they have to practice, because things have to become like muscle memory, because people have to make call like that. If you're a surgeon, you have to make a decision, make an incision. You have to have this skill. So unless you practice something very many times, you can't do that. Where do you get a chance to learn and practice? So one of the key things that we have done at Anurag University is to make many of our programs and blend it with a lot of experiential opportunities for the students. Let me just give a couple of examples. I'm sure many of you are engineering aspirants. If you are seeking to become engineers, to engineer the world for a better world, we have something called Joy of Engineering. This is a compulsory course. As the name suggests, how do you make engineering joy? So we have two courses there. This is an experiential one, hands-on. There's no theory, no speeches. Students have to do something with their hands. Um, so if you look at, let me just see, where are we? Yeah, I'll just give you a couple of them, and then for those of you who also love to contribute to the society, apart from being learning and building skills, we do have a national service scheme where you get an opportunity to go to villages and contribute to society. And if you are a business school aspirant, my colleagues have set up an interesting thing called micro enterprise based learning. Our students, in collaboration with the School of the Agriculture school students produce some vegetables and other things which are sold by the students of the business school, the BBA and MBA students. They do sell it. They run a shandy every week, so they understand what logistics are, what quality is, what pricing is, and so on and so forth. So this is, by doing with your hands, you learn, and that's one of the key things we want to talk about. And you can go through the rest of them. I'm sure my colleagues will share the slides with you later. Let me move on. I'll leave some space for questions and answers, so that whatever questions you have in your mind, you should be able to answer some of them. So our agriculture school also does something, and We have something called Tejas. It must be there somewhere. This family adoption is our medical business medical school, and so on. Most of our schools have a lot of experiential kind of programs that we have. Well, some of you might want to become entrepreneurs. It's not for the weak-hearted. It requires. I've been an entrepreneur. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. You should be willing to lose your sleep, sometimes lose your money, lose your friends, and sometimes your family members won't love you um, because you won't be available to them. But entrepreneurship has its own kick, and then you'll be adding value, you'll be creating jobs. You can be a job seeker or can be a job creator, we say. So some of us students have decided to become entrepreneurs. It doesn't mean that one needs to become an entrepreneur as soon as you finish your education. Like I became an entrepreneur at a later age in my life. At the age of 50, I started my company and so on. More than one company I've started. I invest in companies. So it's not necessary that you become entrepreneur as soon as you finish your degree. Do you have the entrepreneurial mindset? At the Anurag University, we encourage entrepreneurship. That is different from starting a business. You can start a business at any point of time. Thinking like an entrepreneur. Sometimes when you join a company, if you behave like an entrepreneur, we are called an intrapreneur. So people do come up with new things. For example, some of my colleagues, I'm sure my colleague Professor Murthy also seems to be there around in this group. Let's say he wants to come up with a new course in financial literacy. I think there are very few business schools which offer a course like financial literacy. He's like an entrepreneur. He said, Balaji, why don't we start this course? Because students need to know how to manage money in their personal life. They may not be MBA finance students. They might want to do marketing or HR. Doesn't really matter. But everybody should know how to manage money. Money is important. Without money, I'm not saying money is everything, but without managing your money, how would you survive? How do you manage? So then we introduced these courses. So he brought these things along with his team. We said, yeah, it's a good idea. We'll do it. So as a university, our faculty is entrepreneurial. We as a university are entrepreneurial. Rajshwar Reddy, the founder, is entrepreneurial. And we encourage entrepreneurship. So you see here, a couple of young people have had the opportunity to go with Anurag and talk to these Nikhil and Meher, very close to our university. These guys are passionate. They're mechanical engineers. They have created they're making and selling these bikes to governments, and it's not easy to talk about EVs long ago when it was not fashionable. So that's one thing that you can see. I'd move to the next slide. Yeah. So there are various students who have done various kinds of things that you can see. These are real projects that our students do. You can
This
also
is about
see,
stages, sir.
yeah. Tejas is something that we started some time ago. Like I mentioned, Anurag, we keep innovating new things. So I'm sure next year when we speak, you'll not see some of these things. Something new would be here because we are constantly changing because the world is changing dramatically. One of the key things that we started a few years ago is something called Tejas, where the students are given an opportunity to come up with an idea and in teams, not necessarily from their own department. You could be a mechanical engineer, you could collaborate with an electronics engineering student, or you can collaborate with a business school student, or you can collaborate with an agriculture school student, or a pharma student, or our medical school. We also run an MBBS program. With anyone, that's the beauty of being a part of a university. You could come up with an idea, and with your professor's help and guidance, you can uh, you, you can develop a prototype or you can do a proof of concept. Every year we do that. So anywhere between 200 to 300 ideas are presented by students, or 150 are selected. And our management also is willing to fund some of these things to convert these ideas, the proof of concept, into a prototype. So we have the business school. Anurag did talk about CXOs. Many of you would wonder what CXO is. like chief learning officer, chief marketing officer, chief executive officer, chief people officer, all. So because of that PL, they keep changing. We call it CXO. We have many people who worked at the CXO level as professors of practice. Probably we are the only school which started process of practice the day it was announced by the UGC and HRD Ministry, saying that uh, universities should encourage industry professionals to come and teach and do research and share their experience and knowledge with students. So, as a business school at Anurag School of Business, we're about nine professors of practice. All of them have been CXOs, whether they were handling learning, whether they're handling the organization or business development or whatever, or technology CTOs. So we have all of them there. So similarly, we have in other schools as well, whether it's pharma and so on, where practitioners who come and then share. So that's the whole idea about. Okay. So you can see here, Nicola developed a solar-powered smart irrigation system, and let me tell you this: we are so confident at Anurag University. Whether you join us or not, come look at our Tejas. We do this on Innovation Day or something, Anurag. Which day we do? Recently did it in February.
We started off as January 26th, but right now we've shifted to February 11th, sir. February
February.
16th, which is World Innovation Day.
Yeah. So any of you can, you're welcome to. There is an open day on February 11th or 12th, I think we keep it. You can come and then see the work done by our students. You would love it. You would see how much of energy that they have. And these are the future scientists of this country, of the world. These are the future entrepreneurs of the world. You will see so much of energy and bubbling and ideas, and we fund them. And management said that, okay, we want to develop a prototype. If the idea is very good, we can present it to a team. Apart from presenting it on Tejas Day, we would give you a lakh of rupees or a couple of lakh of rupees to develop that. So that also is very, uh, as a climate that we have, culture we have at Anurag University. Okay, let me move on. And you can look into some of the numbers. These numbers would keep becoming better and better as we grow every year. So some of you probably would like to know, okay, fine, all of this seems to be fine. So some of you may have aspirations to study globally. So we have fantastic tie-ups with multiple universities in the world. One of the best universities in the US, Arizona State University. We have a program running, both our business school as well as our engineering school run a program. You can spend part-time in India, part-time there. So that's 50% cheaper for you, so you don't have to go to the US, but you get to the opportunity of studying and exploring and experiencing US. And after 2 years, if you're so good, who knows, you might get an opportunity to work in the US here. Or you might want to come back and start a company, etc. So we have multiple, not necessarily US alone. Um, Germany, we have an exchange program. France, we have. Taiwan, we have. South Korea, we have. Purdue and New York from the US, and we keep adding to this number. Again, don't just look at this number of countries and number of active programs. And as we're talking, somebody was talking to me about Taiwan and some other. There's a professor from Germany. She's visiting the School of Management next week, I guess. My colleagues were discussing. After this, I'm supposed to have a meeting about it. So at Anurag University, if some of you are interested in pursuing some of these programs in collaboration with some of the nice universities and affordable universities globally, you get an opportunity to work with us. Okay. And yeah, so the global university, you can see this list keeps, as I know Anurag is working very hard. He's our director strategy. This slide won't be sufficient to add all the names as we go. When it started, we started with Arizona State University. Now I see CUNY we have, and so many of them. All right. So I'm sure there'll be another half a dozen by the time uh, your juniors might want to come. Okay. So it's not just about entrepreneurship and doing things, and we have a TEDx, one of the few institutions in Hyderabad which does a TEDx and invites some great speakers and great ideas. You know, TED stands for Technology, Education, and Design and Development, or whatever you want to call. These are these special talks we started long ago. So we have this TEDx special event that we do. Um, so you can actually see some the business school students selling vegetables there, and at the School of Management, or the School of Management, we believe that all students need to have selling skills. So many of us students, you would be surprised to see them at Pantaloons or an automotive showroom doing their internships. They learn hands-on. Facing a customer is very important. If you want to become a business person, an ability to acquire customers is very important. Ability to understand customers is very important. And therefore, we give a lot of value on skills, and selling skills are very important. So that's how students get an opportunity. You can see NCC. It's not easy to be at the Republic Day parade. You know that it's an honor to be at the Republic Day, and our students keep doing it. They make us proud. Okay. I think I wanted to keep the slides. Even these are too many slides. I thought I'll do 5 or 6 slides, but 9 slides. Um, I think we'll move to question and answers so that it can be a free flow kind of a thing. Um, how are you on the time structure, Anurag? It's about 11:40 now. About 20
So
minutes for
we
question. Okay?
definitely, sir. We have about another 20 minutes for question
Yes.
answers.
A
I
little more.
would,
I'm fine.
yeah.
I'm fine.
I mean,
I'm open.
if students want to, or let's anyone else
Yeah,
wants to take a little more time in getting their queries cleared, we are more than
absolutely.
happy to
Absolutely.
help them. So, I would invite any of all the participants, if you have any questions, please do put them on chat so that we can read it and answer one by one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Another thing is that at Anurag University, we say there is no bad question. All questions are wonderful. We encourage our students and everybody to ask questions, even if we don't have the answers. We have the intellectual honesty to say we don't know the answer. We'll find out, and that's the spirit of science, and that's the scientific spirit. Not knowing something is not a shame. We believe that ask questions. We encourage our students to ask questions. I encourage my colleagues to ask questions, and sometimes they ask very uncomfortable questions. Some of my colleagues must be there here, they know. I keep asking them some questions, and they keep asking me questions. So feel free. You would moderate, Daniel or Anurag, picking up these questions, or uh, will they be visible
I
to
would
me?
I would moderate it, sir. I will take it, but like we haven't
Yeah,
got any questions as of right now.
yeah,
As soon as it gets,
yeah, sure. I think how many people I saw some professors also being there. So just
yeah,
to initiate, the professors can also ask questions just to. Uh, it's an open thing. I'm sure they can also answer. See, long ago, I remember I was trying to develop a relationship with. I was working for Satyam, one of the early 50 members, 60 members to work there. I came to MIT when they were making a presentation. The projector conked off. I was shocked. As an Indian, I said, "Arey, I've spent so much money to come here and build relationship." The director of research who was standing giving a presentation, he said it doesn't happen in the, I won't call the other name, it's not fair to say, in another university in same Boston. He said it won't happen there because they'll have technicians. But at MIT, he said, anybody from the audience can come and then set this right. So he said that even our audience is so technically savvy that we don't need to have technicians to repair things, is what he was saying. So that that is the matter of pride. So
so
it's also
we have our first two questions, sir. I will
yeah,
just yeah. So, how are you planning to integrate AI in the programs as it is ever changing?
yeah. Um, so the key question is, it's AI today. It could be something else tomorrow. Uh, We are one of the earlier universities to have started a program in AI/ML. For those who want to pursue AI and ML. Today, AI is a course almost every, our Vice Chancellor, is very dynamic. The other day, was talking to all of our schools, saying that thing AI should be there everywhere. And you will be happy to know that you will find AI as a part of every program, whether it is you take pharma, whether you take healthcare, whether you take management, whether you take agriculture, you would find courses of AI and related courses. We do that. And at Anurag, since we are a university ourselves, we don't have to wait for anybody's permission to change courses. And many courses, we also have a very dynamic chancellor, Professor Desai, who is the founding director of IIT Hyderabad. Many courses, we create a small space for advanced or latest development kind of a topic, one unit. So the faculty are free to introduce new topics. And since we also have a lot of internal assessment and evaluation, since we're a university, we get this opportunity. You don't have to go to the academic council, etc., to get these courses. But since we say advancements, the faculty can bring in whatever is happening latest. 1 month before something happened, that can be brought into the class. Since we have a lot of internal evaluation, that will be converted. So I would not be worried about AI. Today it's AI, tomorrow it could be something else, agentic AI, day after tomorrow something else AI. All of that would be there. So don't worry about it. What is the other
So,
question, Anurag?
can I also add to that as a
Sure,
so one
sure, sure.
thing, one uh, not everyone would be privy to the strategy meeting that we had in the last week. But I would like to enlighten all the professors and all the students who are currently the students of Anurag University and also our prospectors that we are thinking of a multi-pronged approach for integrating AI.
Yeah,
It has come, no one can ignore AI anymore, but we also know that that is just another tool that can be utilized to increase our productivity, increase our efficiency. It might be better our outcomes. Anyone. So it doesn't matter if you're a learning institution, if you're a higher education institution, if you're a um, small scale industry, or a medium scale company. Doesn't matter which sector you are in. Everyone's trying to utilize AI to better their own outcomes. As the
yeah,
same, we are also on the same thing. We are actually looking at three different approaches of integrating AI. There is three different in terms of into our everyday day-to-day process, into our teaching and learning methods, into our students and faculties and administrators day-to-day personal like personal work
yeah,
work responsibilities. So every single person, every single leader, it might be leader of a head of department, it might be a program chair, it might be a dean, is given a mandate to give how how AI can be utilized in their own small department or a school or a program in these three
yeah,
levels. And the necessary trainings for the faculty, because everyone needs to learn, and as we are a higher education institution, we believe that learning is eternal. Need to keep learning. And how would we train our faculty, how would we train our students, how would we train our administrative staff to use this ever increasing, ever changing tool like AI? And jumping to the next question, sir, we have Renia asking everyone, what are the internship opportunities that are available at Anurag University?
yeah. As you have seen, I think we have not put a list of all the relationships we have with multiple companies. If you are a business student, definitely we have tie up with some of the national level companies where people get an opportunity to go and work there. And engineering school also has a large number of opportunities to go do their internships. Very many times when people are doing their internship, the companies themselves offer jobs to them. Our students do fantastic job. You can talk to um, our BBS students got jobs for our MBA students. Can you beat it? They went for internship and they loved it so much, our students, They said they came to recruit because BBA students were still young and then they want a managerial job. So they came and recruited MBA students from Pantaloons. Let me just share with you. And they like our approach and entrepreneurship. So just to add to what Anurag mentioned about AI as well, Anurag is one of the early members to have used, and I'm one of the early persons. Even before people were talking about ChatGPT, we started using ChatGPT. Yesterday, day before yesterday, were having a meeting. Anurag was using an AI tool to record the meeting, summarize it, and send the minutes. In my school, many of my professors do use AI in the classroom, even before it became fashionable to talk about AI. So that's the thing about AI and all of that. Yeah, good. So let's move to the next question. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have one question from our faculty, sir. Can
Mm.
too much multidisciplinary learning dilute core management skills or core skills that are required, sector agnostic skills? I wouldn't say management, but it is applicable for all the different sectors that, or all the schools that we do have it on the university.
See, I worked in academics. I have been a student. I did my PhD, the highest that you can do in academics. And I worked in the industry. I started my company. There is nothing called a specialization as a subject. Everything is interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary. If you are a surgeon, you depend on a scalpel. What kind of a metal is it used? How safe is it? Or you need a suture. So it is a mechanical product. So if you are developing an EV, there is battery, there is mechanics, and there's battery chemistry, right? And there is heat generated. How do you manage heat in a battery? Otherwise, battery will blow. Some of the companies, without properly testing, they started EVs and scooters, and some of them caught fire. So everything is multidisciplinary. If you are, if even in a business school, if you become a finance manager, there is HR. You have to recruit people. You must understand that. You must understand technology if you are working for a company. So therefore, nothing in the world is exclusive, alone kind of a thing. It doesn't work like that. You know, it is an artificial construct to make it easy for us to learn. We broke it down into specializations. But in real life, if you take your motorcycle or your car, everything you see, you'll see electronics in it, you see software in it, you see silicon in it, you see physics in it, you see mechanical in it. I mean, even AI would be there in some of the new motorcycles and cars that you buy, which will start predicting and then learning the way you drive and then develop your own style of driving. So, multidisciplinary is the way to survive, is the way to be. People who are multidisciplinary, who have a multidisciplinary approach, are the people who bring in innovation. And therefore, we encourage that. While it doesn't mean that you don't have to be good at something. If you're a finance specialist, you must be very good at finance. But if you don't understand marketing, if you don't understand production, if you don't understand how a business runs, then you'll just be an accountant. You won't be a finance person. So therefore, to get the 360-degree view, it's very important for people to get a multidisciplinary approach. So that's one of the reasons why we do. That doesn't mean again you don't become good at what you ought to be. If you're a sales guy, you must be damn good at sales. You must be pretty good at sales. That does it mean that you should know HR? You're going to be you're tomorrow you'll be managing a team, let's say. You must learn team skills. Now you can't say no, that's an HR part of it. I won't do that. No, it doesn't work like that. You may be an engineer, you may be a scientist, you may have to manage a team, lead a team, inspire a team. So inspiration, leadership, there's no separate course on that, right? So therefore, we believe life is multidisciplinary. So as far that's one of the beauties of being a part of university. You get an opportunity to learn from different professors and different students, and that's why multidisciplinary becomes very important. So you have to co-hold them and balance and manage them. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to any other
Um,
questions.
so can we enlighten our audience from this question is from Dr. Pratibha ma'am.
Mhm.
Can we enlighten our audience on the sustainability programs that we do in our college every year? What we thematically encourage students to work for society and sustainable environment?
Yeah,
Can I
I
take?
think
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
take it, sir.
You want to handle it?
Yeah, I mean, if you do not mind, sir.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So, here at Anurag, we feel that every engineer, every doctor, every pharmacist, every management professional, every agricultural professional do come out to serve the society. And we, in these outcome driven world that we sometimes we do forget that these outcomes are not the end by itself. Those outcomes are just a way to talk about our efficacy, talk about our productivity, both as a institution and both as also as individual, but they are not end by itself. It is all to do our part in the society to make it a little better place than we have come into it. So that has been a fundamental core tenet of Andhra University's culture, uh, for as long as I remember, from right from its inception, whether it be in its learning and teaching and learning process, whether it's been informal club culture that we have created for the past 2 decades, or it might be um, in our efforts to engage with our partners in the farming community, in the rural communities, in the industry affairs, anything and everything that we do, the underlying baseline in our minds is that this needs to help the society in some way. And how do we, and I understand that I'm just talking about it, but I'm going to give you a couple of examples on how we take this to truly into our hearts and how we implement it on the ground. So all the NSS or NCC, every single education institution has their own NSS and NCC corps. The NSS, the NSS corps that have been allotted to the university are four, which means 400 students by the government of under the government of India scheme, that we are allowed to have 400 NSS participants or volunteers. In Anurag University, we have more than 2,400 at the cost of Anurag University's own uh, management. Why? Because we genuinely feel that student being part of national service scheme, taking part in their um, events or taking part in their programs, whether it be a simple traffic awareness drive or a safety awareness drive, it might be a blood donation, it might be engaging with our rural partners, um, it might be understanding what's ailing them, it might be as simple as going and teaching in the government schools, or it might be understanding what needs does an orphanage have. Every single way a student understands a lot more about the society that they live in, and how to apply the knowledge that they are gaining in Anurag University to those particular problems or challenges that are being faced in our day-to-day life. So our NSS has been Anurag University in its earlier form, Anurag Group of Institutions has been awarded number one institution in its executing its programs nationally by the president. And we have beat out universities across India to get that accolade. When I say
Yeah.
universities, I'll just give you a Usmania University has 300 colleges along under it with 300 NSS institutions, small corps running around. JNTU has another 300, like central private institutions which large cadres are still no way comparable to what Anurag University has done in its impact, because of the kind of involvement that the students and our program officers do have in this implementing these schemes, whether it be NSS or NCC or even joy. Sir has briefly touched upon joy of engineering. So one of the mandatory course for all the students in school of engineering is called joy of engineering. So our 3,000 students go through that. one of the fundamental tenet of One of the fundamental core part of joy of engineering is to understand how is to go into the your surrounding environment. It might be a small rural area, it might be a locality of your own residence, it might be anything, you can choose yours, and to be able to understand the challenges being faced by that particular micro environment, and to apply the engineering technical solutions for that particular program. So this also helps for the student to be able to um, orient their minds on how can I read, study, or learn to make my life and the life around us a little better. I think that's truest in uh, I see that is the truest form of sustainability, because that is the only way that we as a human society can grow, understanding and empathizing with everything that, with
Yeah,
everyone living around us. And
just to
that's
add to
one of
what
the, yeah.
Anurag is, sorry to get you,
No,
just to
sir,
add on
please.
to what Anurag is saying, we talk of three C's at the university. First thing we say character. Second thing we say compassion. Your social awareness and everything to the environment or other people comes from compassion. And third thing we say is competence. And we, our professors and colleagues and our methods and process help you develop competence. So the three things as a human being you need to have. First, you need to have character, like Buddha says, Shila. Second thing is compassion, Karuna and Daya. If from compassion comes everything for the environment, etc. Right? And then finally you have competence. So we don't start with competence. Everybody talks of competence. No, you must be a good person first. Good character is important. So there's another question, Anurag, which has come. I'm a budding cricket player. I want to know what are the sports facilities.
Yes.
Since Anurag is the younger person, younger to me, I'm young at heart and is younger. And let me let me tell you one thing. And we have fantastic facilities for sports. And I'm proud to say in Taekwondo, every year we get national champions from our place. Anurag, would you like to answer that question?
Yes, sir. So we do have sports facilities for every single sport that is available. We do have a cricket ground, football ground, then basketball, volleyball, all the all the outdoor and indoor sports that we our students do take part in. But apart from not only having the sports facilities, we have a very structured program for students involved in wanting to, sorry, students interested in wanting to pursue their sports career as a national level champions, or as national level players, or if sometimes international level players too. So we did have international players in both taekwondo, badminton, chess.
Yes.
And one thing that I would want to talk about is the scholarships that we do go out on sports, sports achievements too. So we do like we have a couple of different scholarship programs. One for merit based on academic merit, one for based on artistic merit, and other based on sports. Apart from your helping the disadvantaged societies, disadvantaged um, subset of the society, we do have other merit-based scholarship programs, out of which sports is one of our most important and most availed scholarship program.
Yeah. I
And we
think
have one more question from the YouTube live.
mm,
Sir, good morning, sir. What will be the future for core branches? I would like Balaji sir to actually answer this. Um, what
yeah,
will
core
be
branch.
the, yeah, I would also
So for
like,
me,
I
everything
would
is a core. What would you what do you mean by core?
maybe I'll just expand on that
I
question,
know,
sir.
I know what it
Like,
means, but I'd like to exactly ask this core. You're talking of mechanical, electrical, and electronics. Is that what we talk of core branches? Is that what
I
the person has in mind?
I Amaresh Amaresh Thiramat. Uh, 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 he was the one who asked that
So
question.
if the question is, I'm just trying to clarify. If the question is saying that, okay, fine, if I want to join a core branch, I suppose he or she has in mind that it is mechanical and electrical and electronic. Is that what probably he is asking?
Yes, sir.
Uh, the opportunities. See, all said and
Yes,
done,
yes, yes,
whatever,
sir.
yeah. So whatever the world may create, you need the core branches. For example, if I'm having a cup of coffee, somebody has to design this coffee, right? Somebody has to think about the materials. Now, I may be having this charger, let's say. Now, there's a physical body to it, right? It has got a shape to it. If it falls, it should not break. And there are connectors to it. So there's electronics, there's physics, there is mathematics, there is material engineering, there's a mechanical thing. So core branches will never go out of fashion. Remember this. You may learn one program. I worked in an IT company, so I know how many languages we had to go through. We had to know, they said COBOL, then they said BASIC, then they said something else, then they said something else, then through this they're saying Java, then they say Python, then they say R, then they say something else. So it keeps moving on. Has the need for brakes on a car, motorcycles ever not been there? You may have AI, you may have electronics, you may have whatever software. Your software may be managing your brakes, but there is a physical brake pad and a physical disc which has to stop the bike. Your life depends on the tire, the brake, and you. Now that's a mechanical engineering work. You may use AI tools to predict various forces. You may use software, etc., to analyze it. You may use CAD, you may use CAM. But end of the day, somebody has to develop and manufacture and build it. So core business never go as a pattern. And look at China, the way they are dominating the world today. It's all core, right? They are creating the world's cheapest and the fastest trains. Uh, it's what? It's mechanical engineering, electrical. The trains are electrical. So core will never go out of fashion. So don't worry about it. While there may be a lot of fancy, stylish things that we talk about in IT, etc., nothing wrong with it. You still require buildings. You require civil engineers. Still, you need to manage. For example, electricity. If everybody buys an EV, has anybody thought about the load on the grid? Everybody goes home and plugs in their scooter or car into the grid. What happens to the grid? It may collapse, right? So who has to think about smart grids and modern grids? So the electrical engineers. So it may have an AI component, it may have a programming component to it, but it is an electrical engineering problem, and so on and so forth. So don't worry about it. But one thing, let me tell you, you can't be having an opportunity if you're average at something. Like I started my presentation, if you're so good at something, the people can't ignore you. They can't ignore you. I can bet you, if you are an excellent mechanical engineer, there's no way that you'll ever not get a job. If you are an excellent engineer, we say in Sanskrit, an interesting word, vritti and pravritti. By job, by degree, you become an electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, nobody cares about you. But by thinking, by feeling, by acting, by pravritti, we say your nature is a mechanical engineer, yes, nobody can ignore you. Huh? I hope I answered your question. Let's move on.
Dr. Murthy would like to add a little to this
Yeah,
discussion
sure,
if he
sure.
wishes.
Yeah, let me
So,
introduce Professor Murthy. Professor Murthy is one of our senior professors of practice. And since somebody said Renia or somewhere asked about cricket, he's an avid cricketer at the age of 68. He loves to play cricket with young people as well. He is one. Anyway, Professor Murthy, please go ahead. He worked
Yeah.
in the industry, he worked in academics, and he was the director for Institute of Cost and Working Accountants for a while, and very prestigious positions he handled. He is an SAP consultant as well, and so on and so forth. Yeah, yes, Professor Murthy.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Really, thanks for the opportunity. See, in terms of core that we have been discussing, what I feel is a core thing like my own finance. I'm not going to get into the details as such. I was going through that there are 5 AI tools used in accounting and in finance. I'm sure in other subjects also. But
Yeah.
if you do not know what is accounting, if you do not know what is finance, what goes into that, no amount of knowledge of artificial intelligence and its tools will be of use. For example, you must know basically what is a balance sheet. And if
Correct.
you're an engineer, you cannot say that I just would like to be routed only in production engineering or design engineering. Engineering is creeping into finance. Financial engineering is there. So our human engineering, our social engineering is there. My only request is just when you enroll into the course, you have to do justice to the fundamentals. A doctor cannot ignore whether there is life or not. Without knowing that there is life in the body, there is no point in administering fluids. That is what I mean by a course, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Thank you, Professor Murthy, for sharing the perspective. So Murthy is one of young at heart, one of the senior most professors around. Yeah. Any other questions? We'd
None,
actually
sir.
we should have started with question and answer kind of a thing. That will boost best model. I know virtually it's a little tough thing. Wonderful. Do you want me to summarize a couple of things and then leave it at that?
Yes, sir. If you could do that, thank you.
And yeah, this is just a beginning. This is an August beginning, though we are doing it in March. For words, and just play with words. We love to pun. We call Professor Murthy is known as a pundit. He puns a lot with words. In any case, we'll have the series of these things as you go. You'll get an opportunity to talk to some of our other senior colleagues from the university. Apart from being the dean of the business school, I'm also the vice chairman of the medical school, as well as I'm part of the management committees, various committees. So it's a privilege and honor for me to initiate this series. My colleagues, younger colleagues, would have other things. So we'll get an opportunity to talk to many more people, ask many more questions there. Couple of things, as I mentioned, first thing, these are the irrespective. See, let me tell you one thing. I'm a student of marketing as well. Let me demarket my university. Right? If you are a person who's looking to just to get a degree, go to our competition. If you are a person who wants to become a professional and contribute something to the world, come to Anurag. Okay? So I'm making a very bold statement, Anurag, here, and saying that if you want to learn, have fun, come to Anurag. As I mentioned, we talk of 3 C's: character, compassion, and competence. Anurag gave you some examples of compassion. Some of our students, after they sell the vegetables, the profits that they get, they take it and give it to a charity. A street children home, they give the money. And one day when they were left with vegetables, they took it and gave it to an orphanage. They said, we'll not waste and throw this away. They could have added, booked a loss in the account sheet. So that is compassion. Why waste food? That is applying whatever Anurag mentioned. Somebody asked a question of social consciousness and so on and so forth. So our objective at Anurag University is to help you discover your own dream from inside, help you create a platform for you to express yourself, help you understand your own potential, help you become good at 360. Now, will we do it for you? No, we will not do it for you. Will we help you do it? Yes, we will. We have the platforms, we have the climate, we have the infrastructure, and we have the culture, right? So, Anurag is a happening university, and already it is the best in Telangana, and it will become one of the best in South, and in a very short time, it will be among the top 10 institutions, 20 institutions in the country. Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Um, I would like to thank all the participants for taking the time off and for your questions and participating in this webinar. And last but not least, I would like to thank our host Balaji sir for taking time. Actually, it's midnight right now. It's 2 a.m. In US,
About 240,
and he's
245
been,
now.
yeah, 2:45, and we thank him for his commitment uh, to connecting with our students, connecting with our faculty, connecting with our prospective students. And I think it's a great start, sir. We have a couple of things that we take forward to next thing as couple of learnings. We will do a better job from our side, and all of you guiding us. I think it will only get better going forward. But again, thank you to each and every one of you, the participants, the faculty, and everyone. Thank you, kind sir. And we will be sending the summary of this webinar to all of you through your emails that you have been registered to. And if we do have your numbers, we will send the WhatsApp summary too, which will be this the questions that you have asked, the answers to that, and the PPT and a couple of pictures of the things that we have talked about in PPT. That's about it. We are not. I promise you, we are not going to spam you anything which is not relevant. Thank you again.
Good day then. Have a
Good day.
wonderful weekend. See ya.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye, sir.